What's quacking, guys? It's the TheDuckChris, and I'm back today to talk about a brand new idea I had for a new Slayer monster and boss that could come into the game: the Mist Devils and the Cyclone boss. So this is the basic idea for the Mist Devils. They would be unlocked 96 Slayer. You could do this new quest in the pirate storyline where maybe you run into a big storm and your ship gets wrecked, and you end up on this island where the Mist Devils are. Take a boat from Port Phasmatis after the quest to get there, where the monsters are. So similar to Smoke Devils, there's a regular monster and a boss. The regular monster is going to be weak to melee and range. So you cannot barrage it, but you can chin it. It's in a multi-area, or you can cannon. So chinning would be very high XP, similar to a barrage task, but you have to pay for chins. And then the normal way would be with melee and cannon, and that would be more similar to something like Bloodvelds in the Myrek laboratories that we have right now, or Calphite's also similar. So the regular Mist Devil drops would be the Misty Ammo Bag. Would become a fifth part of the cannon. So instead of 4 pieces, you'd have 5 pieces, with this being the 5th piece. And it would upgrade the cannon to hold 50 cannonballs at a time. I'm thinking kind of a fairly generous drop rate for this one, only like 512, so not too rare. And it would be something that everyone would want and very useful for Slayer in general. And then 2 rare rewards, the Bracelet of Endless Slaughter and Extended Expedition, would basically be like the Suffering for these bracelets where they store charges. So you would only ever need one instead of taking multiple. Just something that's a little quality of life benefit and pretty rare to keep it unique. So the intentions for this monster are rewards that are good for like your everyday Slayer training, and something that everyone's going to want eventually, but not huge and game breaking. The boss, on the other hand, will be a bit different. So this is the Cyclone. It's a Mist Devil Slayer boss, and the core mechanic is that you switch sides. Half of the room at any time is going to be dangerous to stand in, and so you have to switch sides every 30 seconds. There's going to be a warning timer like gauntlets, and the damage won't begin right away. So even when it becomes dangerous, maybe you start taking zeros for the first few seconds, similar to the orange circles at Zolcano, if you've ever been there. So it's not too punishing, but it definitely encourages you to move to the other side. And depending on which side is active, you can only use one style. So let's say the left side is magic and the right side is melee. There's no delay on the immunity from the boss. So as soon as the side becomes active, you can hit with that style. So basically switch as fast as you can, hit as fast as you can, and bring the amount of switches that lets you do that comfortably. For some people, I guess this could be scaling difficulty up to like a full 8-way, 9-way switch, where every 30 seconds you're switching as fast as you can. You switch all your gear. But of course, you could just bring 1 or 2 pieces like we do at Demonics and make it a bit easier. So the intentions basically are to teach gear switching and fast switching and predict when it's going to switch, and some basic positioning, standing in the right zones. This is going to be very helpful for people learning PVM, and for sure it will be fun to kill as well. Hopefully, I would think that the fight would last anywhere between 30 seconds and a bit over a minute, so that there's at least 1 change per kill, if not 2, even with max DPS. And it would start out randomly as well, so it's not always the same side that you start on, just to keep you on your toes a little bit. So potential drops from the Cyclone boss could be the Tempest Robes. So similar to the Virtus proposal, it would be Slayer only damage boost, but 5% each, just so that it's quite significant over Ancestral and maybe any Ancestral upgrades in the future. But that could always be changed, toned down or up, depending on what you want. But here's an example of what it could be: 5% for the top and 5% for the bottom. So it definitely is very significant, but only on task. And then the Tempest Wand would kind of be a mid-level Slayer wand. Infinite Mist Runes would be kind of interesting. Plus 8 magic damage and plus 15 magic. So a lot less than the plus 15% that Kodai has, but more than, the magic wand, which has 0 damage bonus and is the lower level equivalent for auto casting ancients. So basically, the intentions are to create rewards that are best in slot for Slayer training in the robes, and the wand gives an option for people that don't want to pay for the Kodai or don't want to do 2,000 raids for the Kodai, but it's going to be significantly weaker for that option. It could be interesting for PKing too, as a magic damage bonus kind of item that saves some water runes. So interesting kind of mid-level option there. And that's about it for the boss. So the overall design intentions for this proposal, I wanted to create a Slayer monster because we haven't had one in a long time. I feel like at the beginning of the OSRS development lifespan, we were getting a lot of Slayer updates, and that really calmed down because people said, well, now we have so many Slayer bosses, we have so many new Slayer monsters to kill. Eventually we got Hydra, and Hydra just kind of became a bit of a mess in the fact that like the drops were extremely good, but it was annoying to get tasks from Konar and stuff. So this would be a more standard Slayer boss, and yeah, we haven't had one in a long time, so pretty cool to bring that back. The monster encourages traditional Slayer methods for the average player, being cannon melee. You can make it weak to stab, sure, if you want to increase the usability of the rapier or the abyssal dagger. And high cost for high XP reward if you want to chin. We don't really have any Slayer monsters that are worth chinning right now, because if there's anything that's in barrage or in multi and stackable, then you can always just barrage it. So it would add a bit of variety that way. And the boss teaches fast gear switching, as we said, at a customizable pace. So it kind of lets people decide how many switches they want to bring. Maybe work up where as you get used to the boss, as you get used to the 30-second timer, you can increase the amount of switches you're bringing, and maybe push for a 1 cycle, a 2 cycle, as opposed to a longer kill with less switches. And it offers rewards from Slayer that boost Slayer. So a lot of the time we have items from bossing that boost Slayer, where you really have to go out of your way and stop doing Slayer to go get those items, and then you come back and your Slayer's a bit better. But it's kind of questionable as to whether that's worth it. Or on the other hand, we have items from Slayer that are really good for bossing, but that you don't use in Slayer too much. Like, for example, the lance. I guess you do use it against the dragons, but it's primarily used for raids and Forecath and that kind of thing. So having rewards from Slayer that boost Slayer really give people something to push for. You want to push for 96 because then you're really going to get the XP boosts that will help you out for those last few levels and beyond. And one fun aspect of this update is that players can always opt out of the monster by not completing the quest, and then they would never get it assigned. So yeah, maybe a little fun pirate quest. It doesn't have to be too crazy, but just something interesting to give a bit of flavor to the monster. So that's about it. Let me know what you think in the comments. You can tweet at me as well, and check it out. Let me know what you think. I just said that. So that's about it. Yeah, what do you think about, should we have a new Slayer monster? Should we have a new Slayer boss? Are these rewards too powerful, or is it the kind of thing that we need to make Slayer drops feel useful and not just complete power creep in the rest of the game? All right, peace.